everybody, Ms Mika here for another art lesson this week. We are going to be continuing with our ancient Egyptian headpieces, or they're called nemes, the nemes. And we were working at creating them on our photos or our drawings of our own face. So today we're going to decorate them, we're going to add the details and color the nemes, and then keep those pieces safe for next week, and I'll tell you more in this tutorial. Enjoy the lesson! Hi everybody, so today what we're going to do is we're going to assemble, without gluing down, we're going to assemble and check what we worked on last week. So you can see here I have my drawn profile image, and I have the really cool Egyptian nemes or headpiece that I drew and cut out and measured. And today what we're going to do is start to decorate the nemes, start to decorate the headpiece. So I have here my printed out image, but you'll have these photos in the slideshow. I have it here. This one is this one that I was going to create. So you will need I guess you might need a lead pencil. And I have a lot of colored pencils here. You could use markers if you want to color in with markers. You might have paint. If you wanted to use paint on here, you can. Just remember that if you do use paint, this one for me is thin paper. You might have also noticed that I did something to this image. I cut away my hair. Do you remember there was hair there? Look at me now. This is Ms Mika with no hair. Or it's up in a bun so that I can put the hat on there. So I thought that looked a little bit more like the image of the Egyptian prince there. So I'm going to begin today by taking my hat. I'm going to focus on the hat. So let's move this one out the way. And I've just got some scrap paper. It's actually really helpful because we want to color in the edges. We don't want to draw on the table, so it might be helpful to put this on top of some scrap paper. And then this image here, it's a very blue, I also like the shadowiness here. It could be nice to do the blending skill that we learnt in term 1 with our plants, you know, where we blend two colors together. So I'm going to start with blue and then maybe work on that. I really recommend start with the bigger shapes first when you color, and then we can come to decorating the smaller parts. Just make sure you draw that in pencil so that you know what sections to color and what sections to not color. So I have a nice blue pencil and I can start by adding my color. And I guess I'm using the pointy tip of my pencil, so the lines will start looking scratchy. You could try and do it how we do it when we do shading. It's a different texture. This might work really nice when we're blending the pencils together. Okay, but I do find if I want to make it strong and dark, I need to color really carefully to create an even coloring, not just scratchy and rough. You know, we want this to look like a finished artwork. So take your time as you color. Think about how you use your pencil or your paintbrush or your crayon or whatever coloring material you're using, and just think about being as accurate and as careful as you can. Okay, so I'm going to try some of that blending to get this kind of dark area. I don't have a black pencil. This is like a dark green, not that you can really see, but I just thought maybe just using another really dark shade, and you might want to test that. So the scrap paper, you can see I'm already making a mess on my scrap paper, but I could test that out, couldn't I? As an artist, we're always kind of experimenting, so I can color a little blue, and then what does it look like if I overlap some of the green and, you know, blend those together, burnish them together. That looks good. I think it's a similar dark shade, so I like that effect. Do a little test. I'm going to call this the test piece. Yeah, so we can check our little tester. And I think on this hat, it looks like that wherever the face is, maybe on the back of the hat, we have some shadow. So my person, me, this is the back of the hat, isn't it? It's like my face looks the other way. So maybe I'm going to do that. Now you don't have to do that. You could just leave it blue. but I think it will create a much more interesting, shaded and varied piece of art. So, you know, I don't want it to be green, but I'm just going to color blend a little bit, just like this one here, a little bit of that shade there. And remember, I'm on this paper so I don't draw on the table. That's really helpful. And just add a little bit there. Let's see if I can speed this up a bit. What do you think? That looks good, doesn't it? That looks really good there. So I probably could make the edges a bit neater here and, you know, go over it with my pencil. But otherwise, it's nice with the burnished colors, those two shades. Okay, so that's done. So what else is next? I've got a very light area here, and I also have light areas inside with a white band. So I haven't really given that kind of space there. So I might get my lead pencil and just draw a little border around. So now I'm really thinking of the details I want to create in my nemes, in the headpiece. And I'm going to make sure I leave this area white, just like this area here. Inside is red. So I'm just going to draw that little border along here as well. Okay, so I've added more color. I had a lucky kind of gold color. Maybe you've only got yellow. If you have yellow, I find if you mix it with orange, it darkens the yellow a little bit. And I don't have a black pencil, so I'm just going to color this in with lead pencil. This is a 2B pencil, so that, you know, if we press hard, will kind of make a gold kind of color, I guess, the lead gray graphite color. So that could work really well too. Okay, what do you think? It's pretty good. There's a lot of similarities. I've left this white. I decided not to color it. Maybe I will later, or I might even just give it really like pale shading of orange, just to give it. I'm not even pressing. Look how I'm holding my pencil. Just really, really light shade of orange, just like that. Nothing more. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, now at the moment, let's check if it looks like. Lucky I had a test piece of paper. Look at all my scribble bits. And let's see if it fits and what the color would look like. So line it back up with the head there. That looks good. Shall we see what it's like on the actual papyrus paper that we had? So let's assemble it just to check. So we have our background color. And we can line up our first cutout here, and then we can add the nemes on there. Now it curls up a little bit, so I'm just going to hold it in place a little bit. Curled up. What do you think? What do you guys think? That's pretty cool. So that's the start of the artwork for now. Maybe I can hold this up a little bit. See that? And don't forget, you can also use your printed out, cut out image if that's what you chose to do. Do you remember that I made a headpiece in the shape of the pharaoh? So I've colored it in, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like now with the colors. So I kind of followed the image that you'll have, and then when I lay it in the right spot, I start to become an ancient Egyptian. I actually thought it would be really cool if I created myself one of these chin pieces as well. I've got my chin here. So I could try and create something out of paper like that. I could lay another sheet of paper on top, find the chin underneath and draw it on. Not for this one, there's not one on this one. But I think as the pharaoh, this was a part of their royal garment, their royal attire, their clothing. So that could make it look even better. What do you think? So we're not going to glue it down because we're going to be using markers on this later, and we still need to, if we want to, color and decorate ourselves. But this is what we're starting on today, and we're just going to be adding the color and the details to the nemes. Next week we will be gluing, so you don't glue this week. Keep these safe, keep them safe. And next week we're going to be adding marker. and we're going to be detailing our face like the Egyptians. It's kind of like going to put makeup on ourselves. So make sure you have a marker. You might have a Sharpie. Do I have a Sharpie here? I have a Sharpie somewhere. So a black marker. And don't do that this week. Just wait till next week's art lesson so I can show you what we do. But you can go and get one from the shops, or your mum or your dad or someone in your house might have one you can borrow. Good luck, everybody. I can't wait to see your Nemes and the look of your work. Make sure you share it to the learning slides from your class teacher so we can all have a look at what you've been doing. Well done, guys. Bye.